guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. And if you love this bag, wait until you see what we're doing today. Stay tuned. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Y'all remember this tote? This is the tote that I made almost 3 weeks ago. This is that same tote, and it is holding up just as it was the day that I made it. I'm going to open it just a little bit so that you guys can see this is a working bag. I carry this bag every day. I put my papers, my iPad, my snacks, my water bottle, everything that I might need to carry with me for the day goes in this bag. And seriously guys, this little bag has been a workhorse for me. Do I expect it to last forever? No, I don't. And I don't expect it to last forever because if I was using it as a placemat on my table every day, eventually I would have to replace it. But I did want to show you again that this tape constructed bag is holding up. Here is what we are making today. Guys, we are making a shoulder bag. And you are going to love this. We're using placemats, metal hardware, and tape. That's it. But this is absolutely adorable. And I'll give you a closer look at it once we get ready to make it. But guys, you're going to love this. But y'all know what time it is? It's time to make it. All right, y'all, here is a look at our wonderful project for today. And isn't it absolutely gorgeous? This bag, when finished, measures 8 by 5.5, and it's 1.5 inches deep. You can see how it's constructed. We have our metals, we have our straps on the side, easy. We have a flat top closure, so easy to do. But what I want to show you is how much stuff I am actually able to get into this bag. So if I'm going out for the day and I want to take a novelty bag with me, I can just grab this one and go because it will hold what I need it to hold. So what's in my purse? Here it is. I have my powder brush. I have my wallet. I have my phone. I have my lotion. I have my face powders. And I have my lipstick. I have all of these items in this bag, and I still have room for a little more. So if I happen to be running out, I pretty much have everything that I need right here. So I am going to take all of this, put it back on the inside, close this, and then we're going to make it. Y'all saw me put that in, so you see exactly how much we're able to get in here. And this is beautifully constructed. All right, y'all, so here's what we're going to need to make it. I have chosen to use this particular placemat. Now, I have 3 straps that measure 12 by 1. If you want longer straps on your bag, go ahead and cut your strips lengthwise, and that way they'll be 18 inches long, so you could do 18 by 1 and have longer straps on your bag. Then I have a piece of my placemat, and it's cut at 7.5 by 8 1/8. And then I have a piece that is 12 by 11. And then I'll be using some metals. I have them in this bag so that I won't lose them, but I will have links in the description box for the metals that I'm using. And then I'll be putting this bag together using tape. So the way that I'm going to do this is when I fold my bag, I am not going to be concerned with this is upside down on the back or this doesn't fall exactly on the front. That's not my goal. My goal is to make just a fun, festive bag. So if you are very particular about how everything lines up, then you'll need to make the adjustments and the tweaks to make it work for you. So I'm going to take my 11 by 12 inch piece, flip it over because I found it easier to score on the back. And I am going to score at 1.5. Then I'll rotate it to this side and I'm going to score at 1.5. And then I'm going to turn it to the 12 inch side and I'm going to score at 5 1/4. Then I'll rotate it to the opposite 12-inch side and score again at 5 1/4. And then I'll take it and I'm going to fold it and burnish all of my scores. And then, like I said, I am not worried about where my graphics fall. So I am not concerned with doing it this way or doing it that way. I just want to have some of the graphics showing, and I'm fine with that. And where I have those scores right here, we are going to free up this tab. So we're going to go up to the score mark and drag straight down. Like that. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. I am going to go up to the score mark and drag straight down. And so now I'm going to bring in my tape, and on the piece that is the front of my bag, which will be this piece, and this will fold backwards, I'm going to place my tape on the inside. So I'll take my tape, going to place it right there on the edge. Place my tape over here on the edge. And then I'll take my 1/2-inch tape and put it right there. And I'll do the same thing over here. So I'm just making sure that I'm not going over that score mark with my tape. So now that we have tape on this part, it's actually going to connect to this piece. So we're going to flip this over and we're going to add tape and add that tape on this panel here. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to take my tape, place it down. So then this piece is going to connect to this piece. So we're going to go ahead and take some tape, and we're going to place that tape right there at the bottom on both sides. And then because this piece will join to this piece, we're going to take our tape and we're going to put tape on the outside of this piece. And so this time I do want to make sure that I have full tape coverage on this piece so that it is not getting in the way on the inside of our bag. So I'm also going to take my tape, my 1/2-inch tape, and I'm going to place 1/2-inch tape right here. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to take my tape, put it down, and trim away. And then I'll put my strip of tape right here. So this is what the inside of your piece should look like. This is what the outside should look like. And so this is going to be just like putting together a puzzle. The tape needs to find its mate. So I am going to show you exactly what I mean. So here's the tape here. We match it to the tape here. Here's the tape here. We then match it to the tape here. So that's all that we're doing. So the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and match these pieces. So I'm going to take this piece and just match it to this piece. And now I'll take this piece, and now I'll remove that tape backer from this piece, and we're going to take this piece. So you only get one really good shot at this, and what I found is that if we just take a little bit of that tape backer, and that's going to give me just a little bit of wiggle room, because you really don't have much when you're trying to get this matched. So now I'm going to peel away my tape, and I'll go ahead and get that stuck. Then I'll look at it, and if I have any overhang, which I do, I am just going to trim that away. And guys, when you have overhang, that happens because we are human. Anytime we're cutting on a score mark, we're never going to cut exact on both sides. And so you might have a little bit of overhang. Please let that be okay, because you can go back and trim it. So I am going to peel away the tape backers here and the tape backer here. Then I'm going to take these two and we're just going to match like that. Now I can peel away the tape backer from this piece as well as the tape backers from this piece. And so now we're able to take this piece, bring it over, and get it matched. And then I'll just go on the inside and make sure that I have everything nice and stuck. And y'all, there is the body of my bag. Now I'm not going to add anything to the base here because we didn't overlap any pieces, and I really like that flexible base on this particular shoulder bag. And so now we're going to take this piece, and this is going to be the piece that we're going to bring over the top. So what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do on the front is I'm just going to round it because I want that rounded front. So I have a rounded front just like that. And then when I put it on the back, I'm just going to angle a little bit because I don't want it as straight as it is. So this is just me angling. If you don't want to angle, you can put yours on without making any angle cuts to the back. So now that we have this part cut, let's go ahead and make our straps. And then we'll be ready to put everything together. So I have my 3 pieces that measure 12 by 1. And then I have my metals. And I forgot to mention that you're going to need 2 strips, and I have 2 pieces that measure 2 by 1.5. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take just a little bit of tape and put that tape right there, and then we can peel away that piece. We're going to take this connector. We'll have 2 of these, and I will have links in the description box. We're going to feed that through until we get to the end of that tape, and then I'm just going to fold it over. And then we're going to take some of our tape, and we're going to do the same thing on this piece. So we'll take it, feed it through that connector, stop where the tape is when we're placing down the metal, and then we'll fold it over. So now we have that center piece that we'll be using to join the other pieces to it. So let's go ahead and just place our tape on the remaining ends And guys, if you want to use more tape than I'm using, that's fine. If you want to try to use E6000 or some other adhesive that you have on this project, that's fine. When you're making your project, you can try whatever is going to work for you. So now I have this piece, I have it connected on one side. I am just going to feed it through and fold it over. Then I'll do the same thing on the other end. We'll feed it through. And fold it over. And so now we have this. We are going to take our hole punch, and so everywhere we've connected, we are going to punch a hole. And my hole size is 1/8 of an inch. And if you don't have a hole punch, you can also punch through this vinyl with your stylus. I'm basically just eyeballing. And so then I'm going to take my little snaps, which is a prong piece like that. Going to put it through. Then I'll take the little head, snap it on, and I'll do this wherever I've made these holes. And so now that I have my snaps in, I am going to set these the way that I set mine. Now, this is not the way that somebody who probably does this all the time would do it, but this is the way that works for me. So I'm going to take a piece of my scrap and just pound that into place so that it becomes permanent. And you can see that it's nice and stuck, and I'm going to do the same thing right here. And guys, for those of you who have experience with doing this and you consider yourselves a professional at setting these snaps, please don't leave me any comments telling me that I am not doing this the way that it was meant to be done. Because basically I'm doing it in a way that works for me and gets me my desired results. And for me, that's what matters. So please hold off on the comments. So now I have my snaps nice and set. These are not going anywhere. And doesn't that just look absolutely gorgeous? So now what I'm going to do, we need to do the sides. So in order to do the sides, I am going to take one of my pieces that measures 2 by 1/2 inch. And I have these D-rings. I am going to take this piece, and in the curved part is where I'm going to fold over that 2 by 1/2 inch piece. So before I do that though, I do want to add some tape. So I'm going to take that, put it through, and get that stuck. And I'll do the same thing with this one. I'm going to add my tape. I'm going to take my ring, put it through, and now it will go down just like this. And the way that we're going to put it down is we're going to take this piece and just decide where you want your hole to be. So for this, I am going to use my paper piercer because the first thing that I want to do is go ahead and get all of my holes punched. So I'll take this one and I'm eyeballing it. Okay, so now that I have my holes set for all of these, we now need to take the handle and connect it to the D-ring. So I remove that tape backer and I can take this and fold it. Do the same thing on the other end. Let me remove that tape backer. We're going to take this piece, put that in, and fold that over. So now I'll take my hole punch. I am going to punch another hole, just like that, and I'll punch one on this end as well. And so now I'll take another one of my small head snaps, and I'm going to place it right there. So I placed it opposite this one. Then I'll put that back on. Then I'm going to take my scrap and I'm just going to pound that into place. And then I'll come to this end and repeat. So I'll take that snap head, put it on, take this piece just to cover and protect it, and then I'll set. Like I said, this is not how someone who does this for a living would do it, but this is how I am choosing to do it because I have found that it works for me. Handle is completely done. It's ready to be attached to the bag. So all we do is we take it and we're going to match it here. But this time when I connect it, I'm going to use my larger head snap because I'm going through 4 layers of vinyl. Now the snap packs that I have listed actually have 3 sizes of snaps in them, and I am using the medium size snap to go through. So I have put it through this piece. I'm going to take this piece and put it through that hole. And then I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's right there on the inside. I have a larger head piece. I'm going to put that in. And this time I'm just going to go on the inside with my chunky little hammer. Not going to be concerned about putting in any scrap because it's hard to get on the inside. And I'm just going to tap. And now I have that nice and set. We're going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to take that larger snap. And so I'm going to place it on here so that you can see the difference in the sizes. You can see that this one is much larger than that one. This is the one that we're going to be using to attach the handle to the bag. So now I'm going to take this one, put it through, then I'll take that, feed it through there, then I'll just go inside with my chunky little hammer, make some noise. And now I have that nice and set. And now you can see that we have our handle on this bag. So now all we need to do is go ahead and add the flap. So the way that I'm going to do this is I am going to use some tape. So I'm going to place some tape right here. And then I'm going to place a strip of tape right there. And what I found when I was making this is that it's actually easier to place the handle before you place that top flap, because the flap gets in the way when you're trying to do all of that with the hammer and the snaps. All right, y'all, so to put it down, I'm going to match it so that my tape does not extend over the top. And I'm taking this edge here and I am matching it to this piece right here. So I am not going to press the whole thing down until I have it the way that I want it. And so I should be able to fold this over just like that. So when I'm satisfied with my placement, then I'll go on the inside with my big old spatula and get that nice and stuck. So now that we have the back like this, I am going to go ahead and just take a couple of my snaps and we're just going to add them to the back. It gives us a nice little decorative finish to this, but it also gives us some added stability with that flap. So I have punched 2 holes, one here and one here, and you'll see them better when I place these snaps. And I am using the smaller prongs. So I have those 2 placed right there. I'll open this, and then I'm going to place my snap heads on the inside. What I like about this vinyl is it's very flexible, because now I'll be able to go in with my little hammer and I'm going to turn it on the side and I can get those set. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to take my stylus and I'm going to punch myself 2 holes. And I'm going to try to line them up. They won't be perfect. And I'll make that hole just a little bit bigger. And so now I'll take my snaps, put them through that hole. Open this, take these smaller snap heads, put them on. Then I'm just going to take my hammer, go on the inside and get those nice and set. All right, guys, so the last thing that we need to do is add a closure. And so what I'm going to be closing mine with is magnets. And what I've done is I have taken some double-sided Gorilla Tape and put it on the back of the magnet. I am going to take this magnet and put it right there on the inside and press it into place. So now I'll take my other magnet, place it down so that it can find the first one. Then I'm going to add my Gorilla Tape to the back, and I just cut off a small piece from a roll of Gorilla Tape. Now I'm going to lift this and I'm going to trim away the excess. And so now what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to peel away the backer. And sometimes it can take just a little bit of work to peel away that backer. I'm going to place that down with the tape facing up, and then I'll bring over my flap, make sure I have it where I want it, and then I'm just going to press it so that that magnet catches. All right, guys, so now that we have our magnet in place here, we should be able to close this, and we can. So now you're able to see that we have another one of those beautiful novelty shoulder bags. We're able to put all of our things in it that will need to go out for the afternoon or for the evening, and we'll have something that no one else will have. And I'm going to bring that first one back in so that y'all can see all of this goodness. I am absolutely in love with how these look, and I hope that you are too. So if you have liked this project, and I certainly hope that you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.